This is KGW News at noon.
We start at noon with the latest on the Portland teachers strike. Right now, you're going to be taking a look at a live picture from Lincoln High School. The teacher union has organized a march to City Hall on this third day of the strike. Today, the district and union will be back at the bargaining team trying to reach a deal. Thank you for joining us. I'm China Green. Now, while they continue to negotiate a new contract with teachers, the district is asking teachers, assistants, paraeducators, and librarians to step up and help fill the gaps for kids who are missing class time. And we spoke with a paraeducator about this. They told us that they felt overwhelmed by the added responsibilities, saying they don't feel like they have the skills necessary to help students, and they don't want to be used as a wedge between the district and teachers.
I am extremely overwhelmed and uncomfortable. It felt like I needed to have prerequisite classes in order to understand the concepts.
The school district sent packets to paraeducators, teaching assistants, and librarian assistants. Those packets are hundreds of pages long, detailing how they should help students starting Monday. The district says it's not asking these workers to teach kids, it's asking them to coach kids to help ensure that they don't fall behind during the strike. In the meantime, officials at Blanche House in Northwest Portland are hoping PPS families will volunteer while kids are out of class during the strike. The nonprofit provides wraparound services to people struggling with homelessness and addiction. Kids 13 and younger can help make sack lunches, assemble care kits, and collect bottles and cans. Meanwhile, older students can help serve meals in the Blanche House Cafe. For more information about volunteer opportunities, visit blanchehouse.org. And stay with KGW for continuing coverage of the Portland Public Schools teacher strike. You can find regular updates on air and online at kgw.com and on the KGW app. Now to a new strike in Oregon. Yamhill County workers walked off the job at 10 a.m. because of failed contract negotiations. Now this strike could impact a number of services in Yamhill County, including the health department, public works, and even mental health services. The two sides have been trying to come to an agreement since March. The union wants a 15% wage increase over the next 3 years, among other requests. The county countered that proposal with 3 offers ranging from 10 to 14%.
It's hard to pay our rent or pay certain bills, and we have to decide whether we're going to pay this bill or pay for gas or groceries, and it's really, really difficult. They wanted to know what our bottom line was. We gave them what our bottom line was, and there was nowhere to move. We didn't feel like we were asking for too much.
Yamhill County officials turned down a request for an interview, but offered a statement by email. It says in part, quote, "We are disappointed that we could not come to an agreement. The county feels strongly that we have made good faith proposals in hope of moving closer to an agreement and averting a strike. However, county proposals were rejected by the union." The county tells KGW that they are committed to ensuring the continuation of critical services during the strike. The next mediation session is scheduled for Tuesday, though either side can propose a meeting again before that. All right, now to a quick update on a crash that closed down all lanes of Highway 6 about 12 miles east of Tillamook. We reached out to Oregon State Police, who confirmed that one person died in the crash between a semi and a passenger car. As of right now, ODOT still has all eastbound lanes closed from milepost 12 to milepost 20 so that OSP can do a crash reconstruction. But they have opened one lane to allow some traffic through. They said that they are working to clear the scene, but it could take a while. Tillamook County Sheriff's Office says that people traveling through the area slowed down for incident responders. They're altering traffic through the area with flaggers, so expect delays until the investigation wraps up sometime this afternoon. And you can get updates on the closure at tripcheck.com. Gresham police are looking for this 11-year-old. Take a look at your screen right now. Her name is Alyssa Lewis. She ran away from home yesterday. She was last seen in 300 block of Northwest Miller Avenue in Gresham at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. She's familiar with TriMet and spends time with friends in the Fairview Oaks area on Northeast Halsey. Alyssa has braided hair with pink, blue, and purple highlights. She was last seen wearing a black hoodie, red sweatpants, and black and white shoes. If you have any information, call 911. Now to an update on the off-duty Alaska Airlines pilot who tried to shut down a passenger plane's engines mid-flight last month. This forced the aircraft to divert to Portland. 3 passengers have filed a class action lawsuit against Alaska over what happened. So Joseph Emerson was riding in the cockpit's jump seat on a flight from Everett to San Francisco. He was forced out of the cockpit after a brief struggle. Emerson told law enforcement that he hadn't slept in about 40 hours and had taken magic mushrooms 2 days prior to that flight. The lawyer for the passengers filing the lawsuit says he wants to find out how the pilot was deemed fit to ride in the jump seat.
They say they talked to every crew member and that the gate agents and the crew members didn't notice anything amiss. But they don't say what the gate agent and the crew members observed, asked, or were asked to ask.
The lawsuit alleges breach of duty and asks for unspecified damages, including for emotional distress. Alaska Airlines says that they are reviewing the lawsuit. All right, Rod, right now, not seeing a whole lot of rain out there, but of course, that could change.
And it will change. And you had the update on the one lane now open on Highway 6 into Tillamook. If you're driving to the coast late this afternoon and evening, it's going to be very wet, and especially after dark. I mean, personally, I don't like driving through the mountains when it's dark and raining, but that's going to be the case for you later today. So heads up on that. The system we're tracking, this is obviously coming at us, and I think you can tell by the satellite picture it's pretty wet, and it is. So here's the latest track. This is 3 o'clock this afternoon. We'll still be dry with thickening cloud cover here in Portland, Salem, up in the Longview. But 3 o'clock, we're starting to see some rain showers hit the coast, and then jump 2 hours. Here's 5 p.m. Now we're starting to see the rain at least push near the I-5 corridor, and this is your wet evening. High school footballs tonight. It's going to be absolutely widespread, steady rain over every single one, unfortunately, of those football stadiums. Some live cameras for you. Right now, Cannon Beach still dry. They've had a nice morning, but the rain is coming. And downtown Portland, again, we've been dry. The fog pretty much is lifted now. Clouds will be thickening ahead of that rain that we're looking for starting in that 5 o'clock hour. We're at 54. We could still get a little boost in temperature up to about 60. And then the rain comes tonight, and there's more rain for the weekend. That's ahead of my 7-day forecast. China?
All right, Rod, thank you. And turning now to the conflict in the Middle East. Secretary of State Antony Blinken touched down in Jordan today after meeting with leaders in Israel to push for a humanitarian pause in the fighting. This as officials in Gaza report that Israeli airstrikes hit an ambulance convoy transporting wounded from a hospital. NBC's Josh Letterman has more details from Tel Aviv.
As the Israeli military moves further into the Hamas stronghold of Gaza City, Secretary of State Antony Blinken on a delicate mission to Israel today to try to encourage Israel's military to do more to protect civilian casualties, even as he tries to show a united front between the U.S. and its closest Mideast ally. Secretary Blinken had come on this trip hoping to be able to encourage Israel's government to allow humanitarian pauses in the fighting that could help get civilians and hostages out of the Gaza Strip and humanitarian aid in over the border through Egypt. He did not get that. In fact, we heard from Prime Minister Netanyahu after his meeting with Secretary Blinken here in Tel Aviv saying that Israel will not consider any temporary ceasefires in this conflict unless Hamas first releases hostages. We also heard Netanyahu say he is not considering allowing any fuel into the Gaza Strip as the U.S. continues to raise concerns about the growing humanitarian crisis there and the increasing number of hospitals in the Gaza Strip that are not able to function without power that they can generate through their generators that rely on fuel. We also heard in a highly anticipated speech today from Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, who spoke to his adoring fans in a televised address where he said that the Hamas attacks of October 7th were 100% a Palestinian decision. In fact, he said other factions were in fact surprised by what Hamas was able to pull off on October 7th, making very clear that it was not pre-coordinated with Hezbollah in advance. But we also heard Nasrallah stepping back from any type of announcement of a new Hezbollah offensive in this war. He said Hezbollah has already been deeply invested in fighting Israel throughout this conflict, but he did not announce any stepped up effort by Hezbollah to directly enter this war with Israel. Josh Letterman, NBC News, Tel Aviv.
Today, Oregon Congresswoman Suzanne Bonamici and Senators Jeff Merkley and Rod Wyden will be in Beaverton as crews break ground on the city's first year-round homeless shelter. The facility is located in southwest Beaverton, just off Hillsdale Highway. It can house up to 60 people while providing them with 3 meals a day, showers, laundry, support services. The 12,000 square foot property is set to open next year and is located near public transit, service providers, and employment opportunities. Money from the project come from federal, state, and county offers, and the ceremony is scheduled to take place from 12:30 to 2 p.m. today.